So, as we're recording right now, it is April Fool's Day.
It is.
Have you ever been pranked?
I have been pranked, yeah.
Like in what capacity?
So when I think of pranks, immediately the first thing that comes to mind is when like my brother and I were younger kids. And I mean, we still kind of do it now sometimes, mostly at Christmas, because that's, you know, when he's home and I get to see him. So for like birthdays and holidays and stuff, say, you know, you get a present, right? And so how do you normally wrap a present? Like in a gift bag or wrapping paper, right?
Right.
So this dude, he would say it was something tiny. He'd like put it in like the tiny box and then he'd wrap it. And then he'd put it in a bigger box and like duct tape that. And then he'd put it in like a bigger box and like, you know, tissue paper around it. So that box was sitting inside of it and then like put string around it or something stupid. Mm-hmm. So it would be obscenely, ridiculously hard for me to open this present. And I have to go through multiple layers of nonsense to get to said gift.
Oh my God.
So that is kind of something he always thought was funny. And now we kind of do that to him at Christmas, especially my parents, because it's like, haha, payback.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what? You're going to get your comeuppance. You can't just like, you can't prank and be pranked. You can't prank without being pranked.
Right. Like if it's coming towards you, you got to expect it. And then, I mean, I don't know about you, like what extracurriculars you did in like high school, but I was a band kid. So obviously we went to we went to band camp. And so like you knew pranks were going to happen. Like anywhere from like the ridiculous, like, oh, we're going to stick their fingers into cold water type shit. Or like all out, like we would bring the silly string. We would bring like the freaking, what's it called? Shaving cream and like make shaving cream balloons and shit. So just dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, fun stuff you do when you're a kid. So that kind of shit.
You get pranked today?
Pranked today? I did get pranked today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Share with the class.
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened?
So I worked today and, you know, got home just for hanging out, looking on TikTok. I forgot it was April Fool's Day. I was just like, yeah, it's April 1st, whatever.
Yeah.
Just you know, thinking it's a day.
Oh.
So I'm scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's TikTok from IG and they're talking about Mario Brothers and how Super Mario's coming out with a movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just like, oh, you can... From Nintendo, they're like, oh, you can hear your favorite characters' voices from the Super Mario movie in the games. And I didn't listen to the video all the way. That was my first mistake.
You did not.
I did not. So, you know, I'm hearing...
You heard Chris Pratt go, Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. And you said, Carly, oh my God, you got to look at this. And you sent it over.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching this video and I hear the fucking the fucking Keegan-Michael Key skit where he's being like, you better sit down, Aaron. And I'm like, this isn't real.
I didn't get that far in the video before I sent it to you. And then
you were
I'm
like, how do I change this? Oh, that's cool. Carly, look at this. And it was like 3 seconds in.
I'm just like, what do you mean? How do you do the voices? And I'm looking at it. I was like, I'm an idiot. I can trust nothing today.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So every time I'm like, it's April Fool's Day. So like, it's April Fool's Day.
Don't even say every time because you didn't even do it until like 2 hours ago.
You know what? I forgot it was April Fool's Day.
Mm-hmm.
It's my aunt's birthday, but I'm just like, yeah, it's April 1st. It's April 1st. No, it's fucking April Fool's Day. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Don't be gullible like me.
I mean, even though it's going to be past April Fool's Day by the time we post this.
That's true. I can still wish them a happy April Fool's Day and have that not be a prank. Because, yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the one customer that I had that we kind of, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it, hardcore pranked, bro?
No.
So I worked at Starbucks for 6 years, and in my time there was a customer there who was like an absolute fucking tyrant. He would come in all the time.
Oh, yes. I do know who you're talking about now that you mention it, but I do enjoy this story. If I think I know where you're going, unless you're going with a different story.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know. I have so many stories of this person.
This is true.
But they would come in and they were always just like kind of mean and nasty, like to the baristas, because they were like a manager. I worked at a Starbucks inside of a mall complex, so obviously there's a bunch of like stores and outlets and whatever, and this person worked as a manager in the mall, and so they would come in and
it is who I think it is.
Just be like this absolute fucking tyrant. And just be like nasty to the baristas, be weird to the customers, all this shit. Like, just, I think that's an episode segment of its own. But my point of this story is, one time, so he would like, they would come in and they would order a tall hot coffee in a grande cup and then automatically order their refill. And
okay.
Because they were like, well, since like they would play the system because they're like, well, since I can't come in again for a little bit, I'm just gonna get my refill coffee now. And they would get another full coffee for 53 cents.
Okay, so just for my own brain, so you guys did do refills on like regular like drip coffee type thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Drip coffees and iced coffees.
Okay.
So anyways, so they would come in all the time and they would talk about how they were like this coffee connoisseur. They would even like hijack some of our coffee seminars and try and like self-insert their knowledge and like try and tell the customers that were at this seminar like how knowledgeable they were of our products and our services.
So wait a minute. Let me stop you for a second. So this person,
yes,
for lack of a better term, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you have referred to him before, not on this podcast, but is this Tuxedo Boy?
Yes.
Okay, can we call him Tuxedo Boy?
Fine.
Okay.
I was trying to make it as ambiguous as possible because now I just gave away that he worked at a tuxedo store. So,
lots of places have tuxedo stores.
Congratulations. You're right.
But okay, so this man, you guys are just trying to, so these seminars, you were just basically making essentially the customer population more knowledgeable on like the products and things you guys had?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So we will put these events on for free and he would come in and just be like inserting his own like knowledge or whatever.
Was it even correct?
No.
Okay.
Like for every one time he was correct, he was wrong 9 times.
Okay.
So like 10% hit rate.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, ooh, slay. Like, and like, cause he'd be like, yeah, this Guatemalan coffee, it's from Ecuador. And I'm like, what? And he's like, it's a medium roast. And I'm like, great job, King. So anyways, the main point of this background, because I feel like we're taking too long with exposition. So I was a barista trainer, and I would train the new people, and a part of that was like coffee tasting and like food tasting. And this guy comes in and orders his stuff, and then he starts being like really, really weird towards the new barista and is like talking about how he knows all this stuff. And in the espresso machines that they use at Starbucks, they would when you make espresso, you have to like basically the espresso like gets pressed into like a hockey puck shape kind of thing.
Okay.
And once the machine is done getting the espresso shot, it takes the puck and drops it in a drawer.
Okay.
When it's full, a sensor goes off, you undo the drawer, and you throw it out.
Okay.
We had a drawer in the back room. And like I said, this man was an asshole. And so he's talking about how, like, we got any new things going on? And I noticed one of my coworkers taking the espresso drawer to the back room. And I feel like this is one of the very few mean things I've ever done in my life. I will attest to that in front of God and Jesus Christ. And I looked at this man and I said, actually, we do. You want to wait a minute? I could whip it up for you. And he said, yeah, that'd be great. I said, why don't you keep my new barista company? And I'll be right back. Ran in the back room. I see my coworker about to dump the espresso pucks into the garbage.
Okay.
And in a split second, I said, wait a minute, don't do that. And they said, what? And I said, save me one. Go get me a plate. I said, go get me a plate, a whipped cream canister, and a bottle of caramel drizzle. And they said, why? And I said, I'm about to Frankenstein some shit. So they did.
Yes.
They put an espresso puck on a plate, dumped the rest. It was a nice, beautiful, dry, perfect puck. They go gather up my materials. Mm-hmm. And I put whipped cream on top of the espresso. And caramel drizzle on top of the espresso puck, I should say.
Oh, you made it believable.
100%. I'm not going to just give somebody an espresso puck. Now, when you grind coffee so fine, it's like a grainy, kind of like a sand texture. Mm-hmm. So I walk out, grin, ear to ear. I'm the fucking Joker. And I look at this man and I said, hey, we're rolling out these espresso brownies next week. And he said, oh, that's cool. Do I need a fork with this? And I said, nope. You just raw dog it, man. Pop it in your mouth. They're really good. They're like a chocolate brownie with a little hint of espresso. And he said, cool. I get the exclusive. I said, 100%. Our new person hasn't even tried it yet. And he looks at the new person and says, pretty soon I'm going to take your job. I'm going to know more about the new things than you are. Motherfucker put that whole thing in his mouth.
Hook, line, and sinker. Oh, shit.
And it was like a child ate 43 Oreos. Black.
That's disgusting.
And this was a man who's very self-centered, egotistical, narcissistic about his looks.
Yeah.
And there he is with an espresso puck in his mouth. And he said, what is this? And we all went out and went, LOL, pranked.
And this was not April Fool's.
No. This was like a random Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
In like November.
Even better.
Speaking of a random Tuesday in November. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 13th inaugural episode of the Between the Fridges podcast. My name is Carly.
My name is Amanda.
And our third toast today is atoning for our sins. I'm still not over that. It's not I'm still friends with like people that I used to work with. Mm-hmm. But that's like one of the few things, like, I think at that time I was in my extremely hardcore Christian era.
Yeah.
So the fact that I impulsively went to the back, told someone I'm about to fuck this man's life up, and went through with it, man.
Props to you, man.
Not even props to me. I just afterwards I was like, did I do the right thing? Am I gonna get in trouble? And I'm like, no, this man's not gonna do shit, because otherwise, what can we do? We can call corporate and let them know that he's sexually harassing women in the lobby.
Absolutely.
And then he can get kicked out.
Absolutely.
So
you're just like, prank deserved. Hope you enjoyed your nasty ass fake brownie.
But that is actually a Starbucks prank that is passed down from generation to generation. I remember my barista trainer teaching me about the espresso brownie. I taught almost every single one of my trainees, which were about 40 in 5 stores.
Oh my goodness.
About the espresso brownie. And some of them still work with the company. And even to this day, they tell me, like, hey, I just trained my 7th person. And you want to know what I told them about today? And I'm like, did you tell them about the espresso brownie? And they're like, yeah. They also, the other thing that I remember for sure is the cleaning the hot water tank hoax. So there's like the coffee machines, and there's like a hot water spigot. And so one of my old shift supervisors, his name is PJ. Shout out to PJ, love him. He would tell new people that the hot water tank of the coffee machine needed to be drained and cleaned. The hot water machine, the hot water tank, the coffee machine is attached to the plumbing. So it's just a continuous water flow. It's like a hot sink, an auto hot sink. You can't drain the sink when you can't drain the sink head.
Right.
So these people are filling buckets and buckets and buckets of hot water, dumping it, refilling, dumping it, and they're like, I don't understand why this isn't draining.
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's gonna happen eventually, you'll know.
That's so good.
We had a kid do it for 2 hours.
That poor kid.
He also, however, he was the kid who also downed like 6 green juices for $10.
Ew.
6 expired green juices that were getting thrown out.
Oh, God.
They hit the expiration date that day.
Okay, that's not so bad.
And one of the shift supervisors said, if you down all 6 of these, I will give you $10. And he said, bet. And he drank 3 of them, and then he threw up in the bathroom.
Dude, I would have done it for at least 20. 10, that's too low.
Because they were like the super green juices with like broccoli and spinach and stuff in them.
Ooh, yeah.
That's even the worst part. And then he was like, bet. And I'm like, wow.
Oh, my gosh. Did you guys like have any other things that you kind of did to like initiate people when they first started?
I don't think we had like a lot of initiation stuff. I think really they helped. They didn't do it to everybody. Like a lot of this stuff, like the stuff that was like, you know, done to a lot of the baristas, they didn't do to me because I was obviously very sensitive at that time, and I think I would have been afraid that like they were bullying me. When, you know, they're having like harmless fun, when it's just like, hey, just empty the hot water tank. That's not mean.
Right.
But I do know that, like, especially at that time, I was 21, and I know that that was something that I was worried about. It's just like, I just want to make friends at my job. And so I know that a lot of, like, plus the group I started with were not those type of people. They were just kind of like, yeah, whatever. We're just here to do our job. But the more, like, diverse people from other stores came to transfer in, they were telling us all this stuff, like, like, you ever tell anybody that they're tasked to clean the ice? And we're like, what? Like, clean the ice machine? And they're like, no, they have to clean the ice. And we're like, how the fuck do you do that? Like, what? And then they're like, because it's funny.
No, dude. Oh my God. Now that you say that, that reminded me of some funny stuff we would do back at Chick-fil-A for like initiating people.
Oh my God.
So, you know, obviously I worked there in college.
Yeah.
And so it happened to everybody. It was like the crew that I started with was like super fun bunch of people. Like I'm still friends with a couple of them to this day. But like a couple of the things that I remember offhand, you mentioned the ice thing. One of the things was to rotate the ice. So like we had the ice machine, right? You flip it up. It's got the 2 like slide doors on the top.
Right.
When you had like this big, I don't even know what to call it. It kind of looked like a metal ore. You would like pull it up and you would like jab it into the top to get the ice to go down.
Okay.
And so, and like I said, it's been a while, so my memory could be wrong, but it was like they had you fill up the buckets of ice and then put it back through the top portion to rotate the ice.
Oh. My God.
And so, and it happened to all of us, and I mean, there are different things between like front of house and back of house. I worked at front of house. There was another one, like, I don't remember if it was me or somebody else, but I remember somebody told me about like looking for the diet lemons because you had the diet lemonade. So I was like, yeah, go get the diet lemons. And we're just like, what the fuck are diet lemons? Like, there's no such thing as diet lemons, you dummy. And then another one I remember, it's like, yeah, go look for the red flags. We're just like, what the fuck? So in our POS system, like it's probably different now, but like you could type things in, and if you wanted to put in a comment, you would have to like red flag something.
Okay.
So like you put the red flag in, type it in, blah, blah, blah. And it's just somebody just, the one day, again, it wasn't me. It was like things I would hear people tell me. They're just like, yeah, have so-and-so go look for the red flags. And they're like, what are red flags and where do you find them? So it's just like stupid shit. And then somebody's like, yeah, the red flags are in the basement or something like that. And of course, there's no basement.
Oh,
so
my
they're looking
God.
around trying to find the door to the basement, and people are just cracking up.
Stop it.
And I mean, I'm sure there was different stuff in the kitchen. I mean, if I asked, no, I'm sure he could tell me. But I'm just like, that was at least some of the stuff we dealt with for front of house. And it's just like, one of those things you get initiated and, hey, welcome to the team, da-da-da. So that was some of the kind of the dumb stuff we did.
Yeah.
At least. And this was like, probably around your same era, like 2012, 2013 era.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
What happened to the good old days when we could just prank customers and prank employees without them filing a harassment claim?
Just pranking the people. What happened in the good old fun? What happened?
What happened to good old fun when I did a joke and then I got accused of harassment? What's next? I'm not allowed to touch a female's titties in the workplace.
That's probably offensive.
But I was joking.
Well,
It's a
yeah.
prank.
In the work, you was just playing around.
It was a prank to my wife because I said, ooh, pranked. I didn't touch your titties. I touched the secretaries. Pranked. Speaking of touching your wife's boobs as a prank,
Jesus.
your wife.
Whose wife?
Your wife.
When did I get married?
Your wife, Joseph Quinn, is trending on Twitter right now, and I got real fucking scared.
Oh no, he's trending because of the freaking Grease Dior ad.
Yes.
He looks so, I'm sorry. He looks so good. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, he looks really good, but every time I see somebody who is portrayed as an unproblematic celebrity trending on Twitter, I get scared.
You get scared that something's going to pop up.
Like every time I see Joe Keery trending, like, could be for his music, sure, could be because it's a bunch of girls being like, oh my God, he's so baby girl. And that's what it is every time.
Both of them are very baby girl.
It's like when Joe Keery trends, it's either like, he's so hot, he's so baby girl, look, new music video just dropped, or where the hell has he been?
Yeah.
But every time I'm like, he touched some girl's titties as a prank, didn't he? He touched some girl's titties as a prank, didn't he?
Unproblematic king.
Man? So like a little bit ago before we recorded, we started recording, I came upstairs a little bit early and I was just like, well, let's see if I can like just find like one more like tiny thing. And I saw Joseph Quinn on Twitter and I was like, oh no. Did he touch his wife's titties as a prank? It's April Fool's Day. What the fuck, man?
It's April Fool's Day. No, he's trending for, he's just a beautiful, beautiful man. He can be my simp of the week.
Ooh, is it time?
It is time.
Do we change the simp of the week?
I mean, I think it's a little overdue.
All right, I'm calling it.
Hey bitches, are you ready to slap? Cause it's tip of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tip of the week, bitch.
And there it is. Our simp of the week this week is Joseph Quinn, specifically in the Grease Dior ad.
He looks so good. The purple, the lighting, this.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now. He's throwing flowers. He's having his Bruno Mars When I Was Your Man era.
The sweater just looks so cozy. It's
gray Old Navy sweater with some pearls on it. Slay.
He just looks good. He just always looks good. I'm sorry, that ridiculous picture even looks good.
But like, okay, the thing is though, scrolling through here, you get the weirdest fucking thirst tweets. This one literally just says, I want to put Joseph Quinn in the air fryer and see him flying around.
What?
Like, what do you think he is? A fucking jalapeno popper?
I'm like you're gonna fry him up like an egg? Like, what are y'all talking about?
Like,
oh my god. This man steals the scene.
Funny. The fact that like thirst tweets can get so violent is probably some of the funniest shit. Like, you have some people who post like a thirst tweet. I mean, and I do it every once in a while. Like, whatever. Who cares? Who's reading it? My 3 friends and my arch nemesis? Who fucking cares what they think about my opinions of fucking Joe Keery eating my ass? Like,
oh, I thought you were about to pull out a Harry Styles one.
well, I mean, I don't even remember what I just said. So, anyways.
Something about, I don't know, Joe Keery eating your ass. I don't know.
Cool.
Something like that.
You gotta remember, I'm ADHD, so like my short-term memory of things that are just spewing out of my mouth right now are like in one ear and out the other.
That's
out
totally
my mouth, out into the world, out of my memory. Like, so it's like a fucking factory in here. It's like,
it's the brain factory.
Think the thought, no second thought about it, spit it out, forget. Just like I said last week with the fact that I told the Uber driver he was hot. Did I think about it before I said it? No, just said it. Forgot about it. But now I remember all the time. So anyways.
That's just how Carly's brain factory works.
So anyways, the thirst tweets that some people have, like some of them are great. They're like, oh my God, Ashton Irwin of 5 Seconds of Summer. I want him to give me so many smooches. It's like, okay, cool. That's pretty tame. Mm-hmm. Or like, even whiter people who are like, oh my God, Nick Jonas knows what he's doing when he's wearing tight pants. It's like, okay, cool.
Any man knows what they're doing when they wear tight pants.
I mean, some people just don't have enough money for loser pants. What? It's true. We live in poverty. We are in a impoverished country. Do you think all men think, yeah, I want to get these ball slappers on me? No. Some people are just working at their local grocery store. They're a single dad who works 2 jobs, who loves their kids and never stops. And then they bend over and rip their pants because they're too damn tight. But thank you for showing off your ass for me.
Okay.
Anyways,
they're pulling a SpongeBob. When I ripped my pants.
So anyways, you get to that point. But then you get shit like, would like to see this man who I'm in love with in a fucking air fryer just to see him fly around.
That's so weird and oddly specific.
Or my favorite that I like to throw out there, hit me with your car and then reverse it and I'll forgive you.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you've coined the, yes, he could run me over with his car and I would say thank you.
Yeah, I'd be like, come back. No, not you, in the car. Like, I'm like laying out.
It was
and they like accidentally run me over and like, I don't know, Leon Kennedy runs over and he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, no, get back. Get back. What? Like, you're going to turn? I'm like, no.
You just like lean up off the ground. You're like,
back in the semi truck.
Run it again.
Put it in reverse.
Run it again.
I'm liking this. My nipples are hard right now.
You're like, let's run this one more time.
Reverse it right now, or I swear to God, you won't get any ass later.
Put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Oh my God.
He's just so pretty.
Like, my main point is, like, it's fucking crazy how violent thirst tweets can get, but I honestly, very much love it.
It's a double-edged sword, man.
Do you
It really
where is it? Here we go. Never mind. So like the fucking feralism. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm coining it now. The
It is now.
feralism of thirst tweets. Like this one to Terry Crews that says, I want to lather up Terry Crews, lay him down, and slide my body all up his ripples.
What? Y'all got too much time on your hands.
People are so horny. A classic, I would let James McAvoy break my back like a glow stick.
Also valid.
This one for Mark Ruffalo is just, Daddy, use my face as a trampoline. Here's a question though.
Yes.
Imagine you are like BDSM tied to a table, like arms up, legs out.
Uh-huh.
Mark Ruffalo comes in and he's gonna jump on your face like you're a trampoline. Would you rather him do it as Mark Ruffalo, or the Hulk Mark Ruffalo?
Dude, that says it right there. If he's the Hulk Mark Ruffalo, you about to get Hulk smashed in the fucking face. But if it's actual Mark Ruffalo, you might survive. Those are the two options we have here. Either Hulk smashed to death or Mark Ruffalo just jumps on your face. Literally. No other options.
Just
That's it.
like,
Hulk smashed for the experience.
you know what? That's a good one to put on your resume.
What, I got Hulk smashed for the experience?
Yeah, like, be like, okay, so what like relevant experience do you have for this job of being the retail manager of a Target? Yeah, well, like, that's a really great question. I'm so glad you asked. First off, in 2023, actually, I got Hulk smashed by Hulk Mark Ruffalo. I thought originally it was like a kink experience, but then he said that I could put it on my resume and that he'd endorse me and like reference me if I ever needed it for a job. So like, I don't know what kind of, I don't know what type of career experience this is going to give me, but, I was told that it was going to get me far in life.
I mean, with a recommendation like that, you didn't do anything to set your mind to.
Here's my card.
Yeah.
Like, wish Anthony, like, Anthony Porofsky from Queer Eye, wish Anthony would rip me apart like he did that giant lobster.
Oh my God.
It's just like, it's like this weird, I feel like thirst tweets in some way or another, like, are they funny? Yes. But they also just like ride this really thin line between like sexual expression and objectification.
Yeah.
Because
honestly.
like, here's the thing. Because I know we've been goofing gaffing.
Yeah.
And maybe this is just a very left opinion. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't hear many people, other than like some sapphic women,
Mm-hmm.
say that they want like Maya Hawke to break them like a glow stick. And yeah, so it's just like, some of it is like fine, at least to me, like, but then other things like, oh, I think of this person and get super horny. I'm like, this is weird.
Y'all need to keep that to yourself.
Like, hey, everybody, if any of y'all want to write thirst tweets about us, make them funny. Make them like, I want Carly to shove a donut in my mouth and rub chocolate syrup on my nipples. And I'd call myself a hot fudge sundae. Like, I don't fucking know.
Like some just random ass shit.
Or like, I want to kiss Amanda's toes. Like, I don't Amanda's so cute. I want to finger lick all of her toes. Like I just ate some barbecue ribs. Like just come on. But
Oh my god.
yeah, it's just this really weird.
Very
I keep
off
bouncing.
very off the cuff type shit.
I keep bouncing like opinions, but yes, I do feel like in some ways they can be a little objectifying, but also, tell me that you'll lick my toes like I'm a 12-piece chicken wing, and I forgive you.
Oh my god, man. No, there is a fine line.
Mm-hmm.
There is a fine line, and some people teeter it, and some people are just like fuck it, and they cross it, and it's like sometimes y'all need to keep certain opinions to yourself.
Yeah, like don't tell me about how you want to put a strap on and hang out with Ted Cruz for a little bit. That's a fantasy to keep
To yourself.
in your own brain. Well, hey, speaking of fantasies you should keep to yourself,
Okay.
it's time.
Is it finally time?
Nobody sent me one, but it's time.
It's time!
I am tired of fucking waiting.
I've asked you guys multiple times.
But you know what? It's fine. I have heard about one inquiry, and really it was like, hey, you keep saying you want weird. Like, what do you mean by weird? And I'm like, I mean weird. I want, like, the weirdest shit. Now, before I even, like, read, this is less of a fan fiction and more of just, like, a weird fucking story I found. It's pretty short. What is your, like, guise of, like, and your understanding of fan fiction?
Okay. So I know I sent you a TikTok, what was it, yesterday, the other day, about like, I don't remember who the user is, but it's like this girl who makes these videos. So I know
many people do.
Yes, like many people do. And, you know, they kind of lay into the tropes and that kind of thing. So like, basically what I know about fan fiction is not a lot. I know that YN is your name, and that's like a self-insert type thing.
Yes.
I know that some fan fiction does that. I know that other fan fictions like do like weird ships and shit. Like, I don't know, shipping freaking, I don't know, Teen Wolf with Doctor Who or something. I don't know, something like that.
Well, actually, like in like 2014 era, Tumblr, a big thing was
that the Super Hulock era?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
where they would
heard
do
the
like
term.
crossover episode, like they make like fan fiction crossover episodes of Supernatural, Doctor Who, and Sherlock. So sometimes, you know, that was the Multiverse of Madness before the Multiverse of Madness happened.
Like I said, I wasn't a Tumblr kid, so I don't know. I've heard the term, and I know like that whole era of that existed.
Right.
But context, don't really know more than that. I don't know. Basically, I figure it's either just like a self-insert story, you writing basically whatever you want to write, or I don't know, making, I don't know, say people are following like a plot point of a certain, you know, TV show series, whatever, and they're just like, nope, don't want to do this, so they like fix the ending or whatever. Okay, so say like, you know, you were a Supernatural fan, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like I haven't watched Supernatural in forever, but spoiler for Supernatural, apparently Dean dies.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Very dies.
So he's very dead. Apparently, I don't know, say you wanted to rewrite history, quote unquote. Yeah. Dean didn't die. He gets a happy ending or whatever the heck people are thinking of. I don't know. He gets to ride off into the sunset, live happily with his brother, whatever.
Yeah.
That type of shit.
And he gets to fuck Castiel. Like that's
I do know that was a fan fiction ship. I do know that.
Destiel is a huge ship. So yeah, like I think you're hitting it right on the money. So like big parts of fan fiction are, you know, number one, self inserts or original characters. So like
Those are OCs, correct?
yes.
Aha, see, some
Yes.
things are in my brain.
Yes. So you could also consider, because you and I, in the past like year and a half, more frequently in the past like I'd say like 6 months, have been getting into Dungeons and Dragons with some of our friends.
Absolutely.
Those essentially could be used as examples of self-insert original characters.
Gotcha.
Your character could essentially be considered YN.
Okay.
Depending on how much of yourself you've put into your character.
Okay.
So you have like YN, you got, the outlandish YN stereotypical stories of, I was sold to One Direction because my mom didn't have enough money for food. She only bought cigarettes with it. She sold me to One Direction. I go on tour with them as their handy maid, and all of them fall in love with me. To fuel this like fantasy inside of you because you love One Direction so much.
Okay.
More recently, it's like BTS is in the mafia and they kidnap me from my bed. And they all fall in love with me because they're BTS and I'm YN with my brownish, greenish, bluish eyes and my reddish, brownish, blondish hair in a messy bun. I'm so cute. I'm so petite and frail.
Mm-hmm.
I have narcolepsy. I'm perfect, except I pass out sometimes, and then all the members of BTS have to catch me in a romantic, like, oh my god, don't die, and it's like, it's fine, I have narcolepsy, I'm just really tired.
Oh my god.
So you have, like, your little self-inserts, you have rewriting the canon of a story of, like, you take the established characters, and you kind of re-explore like a sub point. Like, let's say there's like a B story that wasn't explored enough. Some people will like write fan fiction to expand on the B plots, or maybe like some people, this is actually trigger warning for fan fiction writer. I used to write a ton of fan fiction back in my Tumblr era. And a lot of the fan fiction that I wrote, I think sat in like a weird middle part between a semi-self-insert original character and rewriting the canon.
Okay.
So like, for example, I had a supernatural fan fiction where it was like the time period that it was in was like about like season 2, where Ellen and Joe and Ash were a big part of the story, and like
right.
Bobby was starting to get involved, and then like Sam had that storyline where like there's a bunch of people with like the weird powers and shit.
Yup.
And in the some of the episodes, he would meet people that also had these abilities.
Right.
And they're trying to like solve the mystery essentially.
Yeah.
So one that I wrote was like, okay, like, because at the beginning of Supernatural, they really focused on like lore that was happening in like different cities, like real lore that was happening in different cities.
Okay.
So I found this like weird ghost story that happened, this weird ghost story or whatever in New York. I don't remember like the full details of it because I was like 14 when I wrote it.
Okay.
And then I made my own character, and gave her some flaws and things, but she obviously was falling in love with Sam because Sam was my favorite.
Gotcha.
At the time. So, had her own backstory, had all of this. So it was like this weird amalgamation of like a semi self-insert, but also like writing an episode of Supernatural, quote unquote.
Okay.
So that was cool. Another big thing is just people just want to write sex. They want to write horny shit about Fucking Sam and Dean Winchester getting it on. Like true brotherly love.
Jesus. So
True-
they really be in the smut fix.
They're really dick fighting. Oh
Damn.
yeah, there's so many Wincest fan fictions. I can't even count them on my 2 hands and 2 toes. I promise I have 10 toes.
I
don't
mean,
know why I
that
said
doesn't
2 feet.
surprise me that that's out there at all.
But like, it's everywhere. It's any fandom that you can possibly think of. There is definitely ships for all of them.
Oh, I believe it.
Stranger Things, don't even get me started on Steady.
Though we know.
Don't even get me started on Steady. Supernatural, Sam and Dean Winchester, and Dean and Castiel, and I don't know, Dean and Bobby. I don't know.
What the fuck?
Castiel and the dude who played God.
Which one?
I don't know, Chuck.
I don't know.
Probably Chuck. I'd suck Chuck's dick. Fucking who else? Teen Wolf. They're all fucking each other. Don't even get me started on Steric. That's Styles and Derek, by the way.
I was gonna say, dude, you have to tell me because you
No, that's
remember I
fine.
haven't watched Teen Wolf.
So, with all of that, there is also like a subset, which is like fucking weird. And
Okay.
that's the shit that I revel in.
Just the off the wall shit.
One time I found a Mythbusters fan fiction.
Is that the same one you posted in our Discord,
Well, not the
or is that a different one?
we should not. Let's specify.
Mm-hmm.
There is no Between the Fridges Discord
Yes.
as of right now.
In our friend
This
group.
is a private Discord server. And the answer is yes. I did post a Mythbusters fan fiction to our private friends only Discord server where Jamie Heineman of the Mythbusters sucks the dick of Adam Savage from the Mythbusters.
And we were all scarred for life.
No, it was actually written really well. It was actually written so well. And like Adam Savage was like dreaming of this day, but he's like, I know that Jamie hates my guts. I know that Jamie hates my guts, but why is he also sucking them out of my soul? This is weird, but I'm
Oh my
also really turned on
God.
by it. Some other heavy hitters. Obviously a classic. Lightning McQueen, fucking Thomas the Train Engine in a BDSM romance. Fucking Barack Obama jacking it with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Some weird shit.
Man, I found this weird one of a self-insert with John Cena.
What the fuck?
Oh, I crack it up so hard. It was.
Oh my god.
But the thing is, it's people that write them so badly, and it's obviously intended to be written so badly.
Okay, so that's the context you look for. You're like, this is written as shit. So therefore, I love this because of how bad it is.
Yeah, I don't want like your 45,000 chapter heavy plot. Like, I don't want your fucking. You know what? Let's see. Because I pulled up Harry Styles X Reader Fix on Wattpad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want your shit like, I don't hate you, but I don't like you.
That makes no sense.
Okay, so no shade to this girl at all. This is like it's about a girl who's trying to be a YouTuber and then she meets Harry Styles.
Okay.
Like, what's this one? This says, this one, there's a character list and
Oh
it says,
god.
YN, it says characters. Your name, so YN. Your friend's name, YFN.
Oh my god.
One Direction, Harry Edward Styles, Louis William Tomlinson, Liam James Payne, Niall James Horan, Zayn Javed Malik, Simon Cowell.
Oh my god.
This is a story about vampires who fall in love during their long run from a powerful original hybrid mixture of vampire and werewolf.
Oh my god.
How is YN and YFN going to react when they come to know that the biggest boy band on the planet are not human but vampires and they've fallen in love with them?
Oh my god. The trauma of falling in love with vampires.
Literally.
Ah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
What are we watching? The Vampire Diaries?
41 chapters.
That's a lot of chapters, dude.
This shit is an odyssey. Multiple POVs.
I know that means point of view.
Yes, points of view, and there's song lyrics. Ugh,
Of course there is.
slay. I love a classic Wattpad. I love a classic Wattpad moment.
So you said this story was weird.
100% it's weird.
Can you define the context of weird for me?
Yeah, so it is a story. If y'all want to read along with us, go to wattpad.com and find
God.
the story titled Kids Bop Never Leave
No.
by UCA Glutes. So that's USEYA Glutes, GLUTES. So the description of this is: a good Christian boy explores his sexuality with his abnormal love for Kids Bob.
Oh my god.
Parentheses, smut. Copyright,
No.
all rights reserved.
Oh my
So-
god.
There's multiple chapters in this, but the chapters are so short. I will read this like a full story.
Okay.
And you can just give me your
Do you want me to
commentary.
follow along?
No.
Okay.
I want you to be surprised.
All right.
I said that for the audience.
Okay.
The audience can follow along, but you cannot.
I cannot. Okay.
So without further ado, Kids Bob Never Leave.
Narrated by Carly.
Chapter 1. Erect.
Jesus Christ.
I can't even look at you. This one turned around because I just don't want to. Not in a bad way, but also my phone's dying. So.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. My good Christian mother doesn't allow me to listen to the dirty pop or the devil's rap music. Instead, she buys me Kids Bop.
Oh my god.
And at this point in time, Kids Bop is the only thing worth living for. I also did not screen reading this beforehand. I just saw it was about Kids Bop, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, slay. I have no friends or family that want to even be around me, but Kids Bop does. Kids Bop never leaves. I sit in the living room while my parents watch the news. A commercial comes on that gets my full attention. Kids Bop 43 is now in stores. I can't believe this. I close my eyes as I listen to the demo songs, the commercial plays, and I begin to feel weird. I open my eyes and look down to see my wee-wee is rock hard.
Oh my god.
This can't happen. I'm a good little boy and sex is evil.
What the fuck?
Before I head off to my room so that no one else sees my baby boner, I ask my parents if I can get the new album. If you do good in church next week, I'll buy you the album, my mother says. That makes my weenus grow more.
They did not just say weenus.
I run to my room before anyone can see and close the door. I've been a bad boy today, and now I need to rest.
What the fuck?
Chapter 2.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
All right. You feeling it so far? You feeling
So this man cannot basically listen to secular music, so his mommy buys him Kids Bop.
Canonically, like, I'm sure this is like whoever wrote this story is like, yeah, it's probably like some 15-year-old kid. In my brain, this is like a 30-year-old like man living with his parents
That
who's like attached at the hip with his parents.
makes it much worse.
Probably like some dude that we used to go to church with or something.
You know what? You're probably right.
You want to name a person that we think it would be? I'll censor him.
You'll censor it?
Yeah.
Why is it a picture? Why is it a picture?
No! I told you it was bad! That's so mean!
That's really mean.
I was thinking of.
I mean,
After the divorce, living with his parents,
Jesus Christ.
and all that can get him up is Kids Bob.
That's the only thing that gives him the will to live.
The only thing giving him the will to live is a cover of Bruno Mars's That's What I Like.
Oh my God.
So anyways,
Damn.
chapter 2,
Okay.
God's house. My mother made me a promise she would take me to Walmart after church if I'm a good boy to buy me the new album I long for, and I'm ready. Church is slow and boring. I know I should be listening, but all I'm thinking about is Kids Bop. All the new songs that I'll get to hear, all the nice young voices, no curse words. I began to feel tingly again.
No.
Oh no, not here. Not in God's house.
No, not at God's house.
I asked to be excused to go to the bathroom while I carefully cover my woodpecker.
Oh my God.
When I get to the restroom, I pull my pants down and look at my solid wiener for the first time ever. I feel so turned on. I don't know what to do. This boner isn't going to go away anytime soon, but I can't go back out there with it. I gently touch it just to see how it feels. It feels so good. I want to keep going. Before I know it, my full hand is wrapped around my winky and rubbing his winky.
Did you say winky?
Like weenky.
Ew, that's worse.
Rubbing up and down. I start to thrust in my hand as I imagine the new album. I want the smooth sounds to fill my ears and trickle down to my butthole. I want to feel the CD and all of its round sides. My body starts to feel different, and before I know it, a white goo skirts out of my pee hole.
Oh my God.
I know how wrong this was, but it felt so right. I cleaned up my mess and put my willy back in my pants as if nothing happened. While I leave to go back out to sit with my family, I look in the mirror. I'm not the same person I was before. I'm changed now.
What the fuck is this? I mean, I know we're not supposed to take this seriously anyways, but I just fucking can't, period.
This shit's wild.
You lost me at winky.
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 Weenkie.
Blech.
Girl, we're like halfway done. We got, well, okay, technically we're at chapter 3. We got, there's 6 chapters.
Proceed.
Are you ready to chapter 3?
Yup.
Yo guys, quick break. If you like this fanfiction, give it 5 stars. And if you like my narration, review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and tell us how cool we are. Back to the fanfiction. Chapter 3. Close to my heart. We're only here to buy the Kids Bop CD. Nothing else, so don't ask.
So he made it to Walmart.
He did.
Okay.
My father tells me as we walk into Walmart. I didn't want anything else though, just this album. I try to stay as calm as I can, and we walk down the CD aisle. I see it right there on the new releases rack. I bolt over to it and wrap my hands around this juicy new album. On the back, I see all the 12 new jams I can't wait to hear.
Oh my God, the jams.
I'm not exaggerating when I say this. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Bro, that's kind of sad.
As the cashier is checking us out, I accidentally let out a small moan as I watch him put it in the sack. He stared at me for about a minute before continuing.
That's a long minute.
That'll be $13.74, please. As soon as my parents pay, I grab the sack and hold it close to my heart, as close as I can. This is my album. She's mine. Chapter 4. Spludge.
Oh God, here we go.
I lock my door and close my curtains as soon as I enter my room. I don't know what will happen here today, but I'm ready. I gently take her plastic off and glide my hands over her smooth cover. I'm not sure if I'm ready for what's inside, but I take the leap and I open her case to see the naked CD laying there, all vulnerable.
Oh my God.
I feel my body twitch, but I know I can't have her yet.
The fact he keeps calling the CD a her. Like, what the hell, dude?
Joaquin Phoenix in the movie Her, Pop Off. I take her out of the case and put her in my CD player. I press play and the first song begins. It's amazing. The best thing I've ever heard as expected. My pee-pee starts to grow again. But I don't mind. I know this is what Destiny wants. After 2 songs of sweet, succulent sounds, I can't take it anymore. I take the CD out of the CD player and whip my weenie out. I rub her for a minute before I enter her.
What the fuck?
I thrust in and out of her tiny as hard as I can.
Ew.
I bet you like that, don't you? I moan as I spank her bad behind.
What the fuck?
I turn over the case of the album to look at the songs again. I start to sing them for her as I her. Do you like Taylor Swift, baby? How about some Justin Bieber?
Oh my god.
I start to have the feeling again. My gooeyes are about to squirt. My moans get heavier, my thrusts get harder. Baby, baby, baby.
No!
Oh! I spludge all over her silver back and fall on my bed. That was so good, baby. I can't believe we just lost our virginity to each other. Oh, what the fuck? I hold her as close to me as I can and begin to fall asleep. Happy.
This shit's weird, bro.
I told you it was.
You did tell me it was weird, but I was like, man, this dude got issues. Issues. I got issues. You gotta do. I don't know the words. Proceed.
Chapter 5. Chapter 5. You didn't deserve this. As I wake up, I start to remember what happened previously. I turn over to her and I immediately start to panic. I forgot to wipe my love liquids off of her. I grab a paper towel and I try to get it off, but I can't. I'm so sorry, baby. I didn't mean to do this to you. I love you. I begin to cry as I put her back in my CD player to see if she still works. My heart feels like it's going to stop as the terrible screeches fill my ears. She's ruined. I ruined her. I'm toxic. I put her back in her case and kiss the front one last time. I wrap her in a soft blanket and take her to my backyard. What? After I dig a small hole, I place her inside.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, my beautiful. You meant everything to me. You were my sunshine, my happiness, and most importantly, my first love.
Oh my god.
You didn't deserve this, just like I didn't deserve you. You were too girl for this world, baby. I'm sorry my lovemaking killed you. I'll never forgive myself for this. Rest in peace, Kidsbot 43.
The fact you gave her a funeral.
And finally, the final chapter. Even Kidsbop leaves too.
Oh shit.
It's only been hours without Kidsbop, but I feel so alone. I am nobody. She was my everything, and now she's gone. This feeling is unbearable, and I think there's only one thing to do to make it go away. I sneak into my kitchen while everyone is asleep and grab a fork from a drawer.
What?
Tears are rushing down my cheeks, but my face is emotionless. My hand shakes as I bring the fork closer and closer to the outlet. This is for you, Kidsbop. I whisper my last words and close my eyes. The fork connects with the outlet and my whole body immediately fills with unbearable pain. The feelings were indescribable. And then there was nothing. I was wrong. Even Kidsbop leaves too. So what you think?
Wow. All I have to say is wow. No, I definitely see this as like some 30 to 40-year-old man that lives in his mom's basement. That's probably one of the dudes we knew back from our church days. That's very accurate. Kidsbop is the only thing that brings him comfort.
Kidsbop is love. Kidsbop is life.
Oh God, no.
Kidsbop is love. Kidsbop is life. You know what else is life?
I don't know.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for the 13th inaugural episode of the Between the Fridges podcast. Amanda, is there anything you'd like to say before I share our social media?
Happy April Fool's Day, guys. Don't get fooled like me. I don't know. Have you had anything going on, Carly? Anything you want to talk about?
Kids Bop is love. Kids Bop is life. Well, now that you guys have an example of the way I will read fan fictions, I promise I'm so immersive. Did you like it? Did you like the story?
The story was fucking weird, but
Yeah.
the way you told it was hilarious.
Good. I want it to be immersive. I want you to feel things.
Oh, it's immersive.
Emotions. I do apologize. I apologize to myself in advance for all of the censor bleeps I'm gonna put in that. Because I just feel like there's certain things that I don't think should be allowed on the internet, specifically YouTube.
Yeah.
But anyways, hey y'all, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Between the Fringes podcast. If you have any really fun fan fictions, like our beautiful story, Kids Bop Never Leaves, go ahead and send those to our email at betweenthefringes@gmail.com. You can also go on ahead and follow us on social media, specifically Instagram at Between the Fringes. If you listen to us through any of our streaming platforms, feel free to give us a like, write a review, which actually, oh my gosh, y'all, we got our first review.
We do have our first review on Apple Podcasts. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, if you want to read it.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. I noticed this today when I was actually sharing the podcast link with someone who asked for it. So it's called My Favorite Podcast. This was posted on March 16th. They gave us 5 stars. It said, this podcast has everything. Trisket, religious trauma, the doodle bops. What more could you ask for? The last podcast ever truly delivers. And that is from Liv KJ. So thanks for your review, Liv.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Whoever you are, Liv KJ. Oh, you're our first shout out. So
yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to review our podcast. And if you want to be just like our friend Liv KJ, whoever you are,
we appreciate you.
If you want to be like our friend Liv KJ, feel free to write a review on Apple Podcast, or you could write a comment on YouTube, or leave us a review on Spotify, and we will read your comment on the podcast.
Yeah.
Except if it's mean. I'm sensitive and I won't read those. You'll just get blocked.
You don't want to make us cry. Or maybe you do. I don't know.
But with that, again, for the 5 billionth bajillionth time, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Between the Fringes podcast. My name is Carly.
My name is Amanda.
And we will talk to you all next week. So what should the next fan fiction be about? Do you have any requests?
I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe you could find some less weird Lightning McQueen shit.
I want a Gumby smut fic.
A Gumby?
Gumby fucks Lightning McQueen during the Daytona 500.
No!
Find it, chat.
Oh my god.
Find it for me, chat. I believe in you. Find it, chat. Find it, chat.